there are some extra additional items in there that I can actually do on that folder. But again, we'll look at that in a bit more detail a bit later on. As regards the window, also on the top row, you have a search button, or rather a search bar. And this can be used for creating smart folders. So if we just type in, for instance, DMG for disk image files, it's set up to look in my home directory, and it's found a single disk image file. So I can actually save that now as a smart folder. If we just save disk image, and we'll add it to the sidebar. I'll show you that again. And you'll notice down here we have a new smart folder called disk image. So let's go back to our home directory. As regards the window as well, you have a bar which can be moved backwards and forwards to resize. Another thing about Mac applications is, unlike Windows, you can't actually resize them from either side as you can with the Windows application. You have to use this area down here at the bottom. If you just click on that and drag, you can resize the window. Also in the top bar you have this small white button, which actually, I think this is a throwback from OS 9, and this is the view that you used to get with the Finder within OS 9. I couldn't really say for definite, as I've only really got onto the Mac from Tiger and onwards. But sometimes when you do open up the Finder, you might find the screen looks like this. If you click on the white button, it just returns it back to the normal view. Also, before we move away from the icons, if you want to customize the toolbar at the top, let's have a look. You can customize, go to View, Customize Toolbar, and you'll see there's a lot of other different icons you can actually drag in. So, for instance, I sometimes like to have the path, and that's probably about it. You can also change the whether or not you have the icon and text, or whether or not you just have text only, or whether or not you want to just use small sizes. Another way to do that actually is to, I think with the white button, if you hold down Command, hold down Command and click the white button, and it'll cycle through the various options that are available. Now what the path button actually allows you to do, or the path icon, is if you say we go into list view, and if we drill down into several layers within documents, let's go to Scratch. If I click on path now, it tells me exactly where I am. PowerMac G5, I'm on the Macintosh hard disk, users Screencast Online, Documents, Scratch. So if I wanted to go back 2 or 3 levels, I could just click on there and it'll take me straight back to that particular area. So sometimes that can be quite useful for navigation. So let's have a look at the Finder window in a bit more detail. A 3-pane view. You have this top pane, and this actually contains the devices or the network shares that you're connected to. So for instance here I have a network icon. I have 2 hard disks in this particular Mac, so I've got the primary and the backup disk. I've also got an external USB disk as well. Also, if you actually mount any additional drives, or if you insert a CD, those devices will actually appear in this window as well. So for instance, if I go to that disk image smart folder we did before and mount this disk image, you'll see it actually appears in this top pane. Just get that view out of the way. It appears in this top pane as an externally mounted device, so we can actually eject that back to normal. Okay, let's close down that smart folder. Yeah, this pane down here, this contains all the folders that you're interested in, and normally by default it contains all your home folders. You can actually add additional folders in, or if you have a folder sort of nested within your documents directory, say for instance this web archive folder, you want that to appear within this panel here, you can actually just drag it and drop it. It doesn't actually move the folder, it just gives you a reference so that you can actually get immediate access to that particular folder. If you don't want it, you can just drag it out and drop it. It is possible to reconfigure this panel if you actually don't want these devices to appear. All you need to do is go to Preferences within the Finder menu and select Sidebar. And you can actually now, if I just move this out of the way, you can actually remove those elements that you don't want. So there's nothing. I have no connected servers or removable media attached at the moment, but I can just put them back in again if I want. So you can change your view of that top sidebar pane. Actually, while we're in Preferences,